Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us Across the Fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Earlier this summer, we brought you a story about a new program for Vermont middle and high schoolers called AgroTek Innovation Program. We're following up today regarding a recent competition where the AgroTek students pitched ideas about products or programs to reduce waste or improve soils. In a moment, we'll hear from one of the organizers of the AgroTek Innovation Program. But first, let's join Keith Silva, who brings us a report from the pitch competition.
Natural materials that are found in agriculture.
Fear of public speaking is a common form of anxiety, but the participants in the AgroTek Innovation Program are far from ordinary.
Nervous but well prepared.
Make sure those corners are full.
The AgroTek Innovation Program kicked off in June with a week-long residential experience for middle and high school students that was divided into 2 academies, culturing cells for healthier soils and rethinking agricultural waste.
Personally, I'm familiar with 3D modeling.
This presentation and the pitch competition is a culmination of that work.
There's the whole idea of making paper from recycled materials.
Each group got to pitch an idea for a project about how to use agricultural technology to promote practices that improve soil or reduce waste to an audience and a panel of judges.
What is actually in there?
Are you talking about the paper?
Yeah, the paper.
Americans are still here. They have
Sydney Feltz and Mia Canizaro's presentation
Keeping all the soil moist and
focused on connection of modern and indigenous agricultural practices, 3 sisters planting.
we went home, we all took our separate parts and did them on our own, and then communicated and collaborated through scripts and what we wanted to say.
We've had a group chat running for the last, month and a half, and we've just been in constant communication around what we wanted to do and the direction we wanted to go with it, and even spelling errors were pointed out.
The team's planning and attention to detail paid off as they were selected as the winners of the Judges' Choice Award.
Sydney, Rose, Jordan, and Mia.
When you win, it's kind of surprising in general. Yeah, I almost cried. I was so happy.
Shu was unfamiliar with the topics the AgroTek program covered when she signed up, but she was game to learn and collaborate with like-minded peers.
Before I went into this, I didn't know much about agriculture specifically, and now I know a lot more about it, so I'm really glad I decided to give it a go. I thought collaborating with everyone was really fun, and I liked hearing what others wanted to put down and what their thoughts and interests were, and I had a lot of fun working with everyone.
The chance to give voice to an idea is a skill these young scientists know will help them as they continue their education.
I feel like scientists make all these innovative discoveries, and being able to share them is half of what counts for scientists, is being able to share their ideas and show what they learned and what other people can learn from what they discovered.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's both the within the scientific community and then also that community outreach of connecting with other people who may not have strong scientific backgrounds and really breaking it down into digestible terms that, somebody who has no previous experience and who isn't, fully equipped with a master's degree in the topic to be able to still feel like they're a part of what's come, the up-and-coming discoveries and technologies of our time.
My name is Sonia.
Shu agrees with her teammates.
Public speaking is really important because you might have to get up in front of people and talk about what you do, and if you are learning something, then you want to maybe share it with everyone. So I think it's a really good opportunity to practice this beforehand.
Spoken like a winner and a public speaker.
We are scientists.
At the University of Vermont, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
Thanks, Keith. What a great experience for those girls. And joining me now via Zoom is Sarah Kleinman. She is a co-creator and organizer of the AgroTek Innovation Program. Thanks so much for being with us today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me back.
So, Sarah, remind us about the goals of the AgroTek Innovation Program and how the program came together.
Sure. So this particular project was a grant-funded initiative. The funding came from USDA as part of their food and agriculture non-formal education. And it's a 3-year project where we set out to, as part of the grant objectives, explore the safe and equitable use of different biotechnologies or agri-STEM skills. The goal, again, the larger goal of this grant was to develop really a tech-savvy future workforce in agriculture. And so I and some colleagues within the College of Ag and Life Sciences just sort of put out this call to see who might be interested. And we found some willing partners in different faculty and campus collaborators and community partners too. And then we put together this 3-year plan and launched this first year with those 2 academies.
Awesome. So in your remarks at the competition, you actually mentioned that AgroTek is built on relationships. So can you expand on that a little?
Sure, absolutely. So we know in both human development and youth development research, relationships is critical to the underpinning of what we do. Relationships help to build connection. That connection then helps people to expand and possibly expand those possibilities that might be present. And then through those possibilities, it helps individuals find purpose. And really, it's purpose that ultimately leads people into education, into career, emotional wellness. There's just so much built into, again, people having that purpose. And as we wrote this particular project with the 4-H lens that sort of overlays the youth development piece that overlays on top of agriculture, we were very intentional about building this pipeline through building relationships. And so we integrated undergraduate student mentors as a part of the program design, building relationships with the faculty and other professional staff that were a part of this particular project, and then making sure that the youth, also the participants, had that opportunity in smaller cohorts to build relationships among themselves. Again, hopefully it will lead to different possibilities, these individuals finding purpose and moving a pipeline of both education and career.
So it's kind of critical that this AgroTek program was on the UVM campus.
It was and is certainly for us. 4-H has done programming at lots of different universities and college campuses across the state. Part of what we want to do, again, is show youth and help them explore their future. And so by bringing individuals onto campus, not only do they get to live in the dorms, eat in the cafeterias, and become familiar with what it might feel like to live in a college environment. But again, we were building that relationship to the faculty that are here, to the tools and the labs and the experiences that might be here. 4-H is, of course, is a part of the University of Vermont. 4-H across the country is a part of all the land-grant colleges. And we are embedded within the College of Ag and Life Sciences. And so secondarily, I'm also trying to position 4-H as a partner to help meet university goals, recruitment goals, and try to build, bring students onto campus, and hopefully they'll become UVMers and then stay in Vermont and contribute to our future.
Exactly. So what did you learn from this first year that you'll apply to future AgroTek sessions?
Sure. We learned a lot. This was our first year. The program design, of course, there's parts that we might change, more free time, more preparation in advance, so the students, the participants knew a little bit more about what they're getting into. I think we would also really build on the mentor component, being more intentional about how we embed the mentors, ensuring that they also understand that what our expectations are. That was a piece that I think we could have been stronger on. But we've got lots of ideas and lots of great feedback. We've done an evaluation that we're now just looking at the results, and all of the participants did speak super highly of the program and the opportunities that they have. And I think the final presentation that we saw, this teach back, which is a part of course, what we do, there was a big gap. There was about 4 weeks in between the final academy and this presentation. And so being more intentional about how we could either reduce that gap or do this presentation at a different time might be something that we think about in the future.
Well, so clearly you've already started planning for next year's AgroTek program.
We have, certainly. I mean, as part of any good program design, right, there's an evaluation, you look at the feedback and you think about it. The way that we wrote this grants is that with each consecutive year, we add on an additional academy. So next year, there'll be 3 academies, the 2 that we saw, Culturing Cells for Healthier Soils and the Shifting to the Waste to Value Paradigm. But then we'll add a new academy that's focused on using virtual reality and precision agriculture. So looking at some artificial intelligence intelligence-based systems and how they contribute to precision agriculture. It's exciting.
Wow. And what's next for the winners of the pitch competition?
They get to contribute and present as part of a 4-H program design. One of the series of events or opportunities that we have every year is our science cafes, and that's a series of opportunities where scientists will come and present to a group of young people, and those young people then get to try their hands-on activities in that particular science. So the winners, because of their science, will get to present and contribute and share their learning at one of those science cafes, and also as a way to promote for future academies.
Great. And speaking of opportunities, I hear that an AgroTek student will be working with a UVM professor on a research project in the fall. How did that come about?
Yes, and that's sort of this pipeline that we're hoping to build. So there's a little bit of a success story. Dr. Eric Bishop von Wetberg, who was one of the key contributors to the Cells Academy that we had, has a different grant project and a different set of research where he needed and had written in integrating a high school student to that research. And because of this relationship, seeing somebody who was fairly local and could get to campus, but also very interested and capable, there was this match made. And so one of our participants now has this opportunity and resume building.
Awesome. So as a leader of 4-H, of Vermont 4-H, talk about the connection between 4-H project and club activities that you've set out to accomplish with AgroTek. Just with 30 seconds to go.
Sure. Overall, 4-H helps to build science skills and life skills and job skills. And so whether we do that through a club model, a 4-H program, a club model, or we do it through something called AgroTek, it's really those same components. We're providing developmentally appropriate relationships. We're providing opportunities to explore interests and skills and master some of those skills and allow youth to make choice as they did in these presentations. They chose what they wanted to share and how they wanted to share. And so that's, again, we keep those same principles and ingredients in all of our different programming.
Wonderful. What a successful program. I'm sure other colleges and universities will be very interested in what you're doing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For more information about AgroTek and everything 4-H, you can visit uvm.edu/extension/youth. Thank you so much again, Sarah, for joining us today. And thank you for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.